You never had a savings account. Let's start there.
Right.
You never knew about investing.
Yep.
Let's start there.
Nobody ever taught you about credit.
Let's start there.
Yeah, right.
Welcome back to part 2 of Breaking Generational Curses. I hope you enjoyed last week's discussion. We will continue that discussion today with my special guests, Kanisha Graham and Minister Katrina Morris. Welcome back, ladies.
And I know my daughter feels like that sometimes too. But one thing I have learned as being a teacher, I really realized that kids just want to be heard. They just want they want to feel like what they say matters, what they think matters, and how they feel matters. And I think, like you say, building that relationship with your children, you will find out a whole lot. Growing up, it was like kids were supposed to be seen and not heard. So that's why you had a lot of Uncle Chester's going on. A lot of that just building up where you didn't have a safe space to go talk to your parents, to go talk to an aunt. Sometimes, a lot of people, some people may have had that cool aunt or had, older sister, brother they could talk to, but sometimes you didn't have that. And so you had a lot going on that parents didn't know about because they didn't build that bond with their kids. They didn't have that open dialogue.
And you know what? I think that a lot of that stems from them not knowing how to deal with conflict.
How to ask the questions or knowing what questions to ask. Because growing up, I didn't talk to my mom about sex. It was like, don't have sex, don't do sex, that's it. And it was like, and then once she found out I was having sex, okay, here you go, some condoms. We finna go to the clinic, get you some birth control pills. That's it. Like, it's nothing about your body is your temple. This is the dwelling place of the Lord. You should honor your body, keep your body clean. Make sure you are, just feeling, positive about yourself. None of that. And so basically we had to figure it out. The world raised us, and now that we are adults, it's like, well, dog, everything that I did, it almost makes you feel kind of dirty. Yeah. It makes you feel like unworthy because you went through all of that, but then you learn that, okay, God forgives you because you didn't know no better. And so it's like, okay, where do you go? How do you change that? And how do we begin to raise daughters that are honoring themselves and not letting the world tell them it's okay? It's okay for you to go get your bag, girl. Get your bag by any means necessary. Or make sure you got this, that, and the third, that you got yourself together. And it's like, that ain't what life is about. It's more than that.
Totally. I think the biggest generational curse is whooping our kids. And I say that because...
Make it plain, girl, because I believe in whooping.
Listen, but I'm going to tell you something. I do too. And I whoop my older kids, right? But I don't whoop my baby girl because I'm not that person no more. I whooped them because it was just me and they needed to fear me, right? Well, guess where that came from? That came from slavery. That's what they did to us to keep us in line. And we in turn started doing it to our own children to keep our children in line. That's why white folks don't beat their kids, because they were never supposed to. You're not supposed to beat your kids like that. We took on something that was used to control us, and we used it in turn to control our own children.
Our kids, you're right.
And so it was never really meant for that. But I think that's the biggest curse, and I say that because that's what shuts their mouths. Because how could you hit me like that and say you love me at the same time? How could you treat me that way? Because my 12-year-old, if I even raise my voice to her, she's like, well, wait a minute. You don't love me. Just because I raise my voice at you don't mean I don't love you. But it put me in a place to start thinking of things from her perspective. Right. Because in her mind, she's thought this through, and if you hit me, you don't love me. You can't love me if you hit me. And if you yell at me, you're angry with me. And so we have these conversations because just because I yell at you don't mean that I'm angry with you and I'm never going to talk to you again, or I'm never going to hug you again. You upset me. And it's okay to be upset every now and then, right? But it's the way that you handle the situation. And like I said, conflict resolution. parents, they never wanted to deal with the conflict, right? Everything just got pushed aside.
All up under the rug.
Tomorrow, everything was tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. You know?
Right.
And I totally, agree. Like, as the older I'm getting, I'm seeing how I would like to raise my family, and is discipline is gonna look different in my household because you're right. Sometimes you don't understand how can somebody love me and then discipline me like maybe to like this degree. I think sometimes parents are overwhelmed with the 9 to 5 and maybe having marital issues, and sometimes you go and you screw up, you mess up, and now it's time for you to get disciplined. Sometimes we can take out emotions from whatever we have going on in our life, and then we explode in that moment because you didn't act it out, and we taking out our frustration on top of what you just did and what we have going on. So discipline will look different. Will there probably be like a tap here, a pop there? Definitely. But I do, recommend maybe a pop, here and there, but to that extent where I didn't, you got crazy or what? No. We
ain't going to get no more switching.
No,
We ain't
right.
doing no more stitching.
No stitching cord.
Or no hangers.
No.
Pops.
No.
Look, I was finna say, don't bring Mama Auntie Andrea because I'm a striker. But no, but they love coming over there because I let them run wild, but I'm a pop 'em. But I will say that I think this generation is completely different. Because like you said, I can raise my voice at my 12-year-old and he's like, he just kind of shuts down or he corrects it right away. It doesn't have to get to the point where I got to whoop him. And so the 19-year-old, back then she needed a whipping, or maybe my mind frame felt like she needed a whipping. And she probably, sometimes she might have. But it's just a different, and each child is different. So it's just a way that maturity, as we grow and we learn different things and we're open to talking to our kids, then the way we raise them is going to be different.
Change, absolutely.
So it is going to make a big difference. And one thing that they learn in school is being able to talk and being able to rationalize things. And so it's like if I come home and I can't talk to my parents, all I'm doing is get beat, then where is the love?
Right.
So where am I going to turn to? Turn to the streets or turn to whatever. So I think it is a difference in how you raise your kids and being able to connect to them on different levels. So
And one thing too, when it comes to generational curses, I can remember, I don't know, if the Lord has like really chose me to be that one to break cycles. I remember earlier we was talking about being single and so forth, and just trying to do things the right way. I don't want to have a child out of wedlock. That was like my biggest thing, seeing all of that take place within my family. And I can just remember saying that, like, thinking that was the only one curse that I saw within my family. And I was like, well, I ain't want to have no baby out of wedlock, so I'm going to wait till I get married. So I was like, okay, well, that sounds good. But then it was just so much. I was like, Lord, I got to break them out.
gotta start somewhere.
I'm like, I got to break them out.
Gotta start somewhere.
So, I say, it is so many within the family. But you can start with where you are and start making those corrections so that you don't continue to pass them on to your children, and they later pass them on to their kids. It's a different day now, and you can be that change, and it's okay to be that change. Even though you may be that only person in your family that's trying, but once you step out of your bubble, out of your own family, you probably come in contact with other people that are on the same page as you, that are thinking along the same lines as you. So you're never alone. You may think that you're alone, but you're not alone if you're trying to do things a better way.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that was part of Growing up, I did want to say, okay, I don't want to have a baby out of wedlock, but I did. Had my daughter when I was 21. We didn't get married till I was 26, 27. But one thing I can say that as you grow, like you said, you set those standards for yourself. So one thing that I believe or that I have stuck to is that I don't want to have a baby daddy. I don't want to have that step that, and that's one thing I really had to pray hard about, because I was like, I don't want my husband to have outside kids. And that's just me. What, everybody's situation is different. And I mean, of course, your walk is your walk. But for me, I was like, Lord, I can't deal with that step and that half and that ain't me. So I said, well, Lord, just make it work. So when we said I do, and we have that conversation often, it's like, it's to death do us part. We gotta make this work. And so a lot of it comes back to communicating. As you know your kids, know your spouse, know your partner, know or let them know what your end game is. And we dated for 10 years before we got married, and so we grew up together. And so that's not everybody's case. I have a lot of friends like, ain't nobody do that. Who dates in high school and still married in their 40s? Yes, we're an exception to the rule because we made exceptions for our lives and for our family. It was like, we made sacrifices. It was like, okay, no, we're not doing this. We ain't doing that. We got to make it work one way or the other. I'm the financial person, so let me handle the checkbooks. Or, you do this, so you can cook. Or, being able to communicate and build what works for us. Because it's a different day. It's a difference in what we saw growing up. Right. We had so many, well, her daddy coming to pick her up tomorrow, but his daddy coming to pick him up, right now. So it's just watching that and being able to say, okay, that ain't what I want for my life, and I want different. I want better. So, yeah, making those adjustments and being able to talk to your family, being able to build those relationships. Anything else? No, we good. So yes, we hope you got something out of this today, and we hope that you are able to connect with us via YouTube, via podcast. You can follow me on The Real Miss Dre on Instagram. Thank y'all for watching. Smooches. Have a good day. All right, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
We ready?